Hey guys, I just received our refrigerator for the Cybertruck from Cybergear, and I wanted to make a video on my impressions. So here we go. Okay guys, so the car is currently being charged, or plugged in rather. And as you can see, the refrigerator's here. This is the power button, so I'm just gonna hold it down. It takes about 3 seconds to boot up, but as you can see, it's not. And so what it is that when the car is plugged in, the power sockets are not on. So here's what we're gonna do for a test. It is done charging. It's got 253 miles. Time right now is 11:37. So what we'll do tomorrow in the morning is check and see what the power is. I'm going to unplug the car and turn on the socket, power socket, and let it run. Turn on the refrigerator and see overnight. I have it set to about 30 degrees for the refrigerator temperature, and we'll see just how much power it consumes. Okay, so now you can see the car is no longer charging. And you can see the refrigerator is on now. That's just showing the reading of the current temp, 62. We will check back in the morning. Again, 253 miles. 11:39. All right guys, it's morning time. You can see the car was not charged overnight, and so we will see. Okay, the fridge has reached 33 degrees. That's where I set it at last night. It started off at 62. It was not cooled down before this test, so that's why it was 62 in the fridge, and I set it for 32, or maybe it was 33. Anyway, it did reach the desired temperature of 33. So we started with what, 253 miles. We're down to 239, and it is 8 a.m. So that might give you an idea of just how much battery it uses in that time period. As you can see right there, that's the Cybergear fridge. So far, just kind of giving you a look of where it fits. I think it looks great, to be honest with you. You know, before there was just an empty void where you can just kind of throw stuff in sort of this tray outline that they have in the center. And it was nice. We used it on occasion. Nothing that we made a habit out of. Usually it's sat empty. Once in a while you go in to grab your food or something, and it'd just be a convenient place to store it. Mainly also because if you store anything too tall, when you made turns, it would just fall off to the side. So you know, for us it was just space. But I do really appreciate the way they designed this. I think it looks sleek. Construction quality of the material seemed really nice. Right here, this is I guess that faux leather. That's kind of keeping in line with what Tesla has. And otherwise the construction of the material feels nice and solid. Installation was really easy. Took about 10 minutes just for myself. All you had to do was remove, I don't know if you can see it, but this carpeted piece which kind of pulls out that whole center section here. And after you remove that, you would remove the side trim here, the factory one, and then that would leave that whole area open, and you just slide the fridge in there, and there's a power cord, which if you look in the back seat down here is where it's plugged into. Okay, so more on that in a second. But again, overall, I really do like the aesthetics of it. I think it's in keeping with the design of Cybertruck. And again, maybe a personal thing, but for me, I'm always used to having a car that has sort of the center section here filled with some part of the interior trim instead of what used to be that empty space. So again, I do like it. Now, there's a couple questions from the forum that I will address. Someone asked if it will interfere if in fact you got the swivel screen option. No, it does not. So this piece here is the lid, and if you open that up, you can see it clears it. Okay, as best as I can get that angle, it clears it. As well, it doesn't interfere with any of the phone chargers or just this area in general. So everything is made with practicality in mind and operational movements in mind. This top piece here is a grippy piece of rubber, so you can put your phone or items there. Assuming you don't make any aggressive turns, it should keep the items relatively stable. Now, the advertisement of this piece suggests that this lid is soft closing. So watch, if you open it, and it seems to be held by magnets. You can probably see that circular piece right there. If I let it go, it just drops. It's not the soft close that I think it was advertised with, and I don't know if that's because this unit is faulty or that's just the way they're built. I have some thoughts on that, which is, well, if you're trying to grab something, sometimes you might not want that lid to keep falling, which it does, obviously. It doesn't hold itself open, so that seems to be my main gripe at this point. Not a big deal, but it would have been nice if it's one of those, I don't know if it's hydraulic or what they use to keep the lid open and maybe slowly close, so that you do have some time to grab whatever you might want to grab from the inside. Speaking of the inside, right now I just have 4 of those Celsius drinks in there. I don't really have anything else, but I throw it in there in sort of reference to the amount of space that they provide you. I would say you can probably easily put at least 20 cans. So that's a good amount of space. And as far as the operating temperature, I think you can take it down to -6 degrees Celsius, which is below freezing, and it'll keep ice cream or any goods that are perishable refrigerated for a good amount of time. I will also say that going back to the installation, once you slide the refrigerator in there, plug it up, you just put these these trim pieces here back in line. It's not the factory piece, they include it in the kit, and again, very simple, 10 minutes, not a problem. As far as driving the car, it does not squeak. It's a great fitment. It's very solid. It's in there. It's not moving, so don't expect any squeaks or rattles from it. I've driven a few miles already over some roads that are smooth and bumpy, and didn't notice anything worth complaining about. So anyway, that is pretty much it. I'll report back on the usage of it. This is my second day with it. I haven't really used it much. In fact, I just put those drinks in there just now, so it gives you guys a reference of how much it carries. But I do see a good amount of use case for this, which is that we find ourselves sometimes out about in the summer, and I'm not going to kid you, we got these Path water bottles because they're aluminum and not plastic, because it gets so hot that the water, I don't know how you feel about plastic, but you don't want to drink out of a hot plastic bottle. That said, we have the option now to keep our drinks cooled and chilled, so that's a real nice thing to have, especially where we live. It does get pretty hot during summer. Beyond that, we do go out shopping, and sometimes you're making errands and not going straight home, where you know, have groceries and stuff like that. And you know, this gives you that flexibility to be able to not have to rush home to throw your perishables in the fridge. So I'm expecting a lot of great use out of it. We got this from Cybergear, I think it is the company, I forgot, but shout out to them. Great product. You know, the only questions I have is what's the longevity of this. You know, hopefully we have no issues and it lasts a lifetime, so we'll see. But as far as chilling, you know, I have it set at 32 F, and it's been holding strong since last evening. So far it doesn't seem to have any leaks, as far as, you know, leaks that would allow the cold air to seep out and reduce, or rather let the temperature rise. So seems like a pretty solid product for now. Anyway, we'll make another video later and report back.